Little birdie told me I'd an army advice.
Get information straight from the horse's mouth.
Little birdie told me I'd an army advice.
It's Just Ask Gigi with Gigi Stetler and Tom Alexander. Now here's Gigi and Tom.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Just Ask Gigi. I'm Tom Alexander, and as always, I am joined by...
Roll call.
There you go, Gigi Stetler. Hey, Gigi.
Hey.
How are you today?
I am grand as grand can be.
Yes, I know that our beloved Yuki, your beloved Yuki, and our company mascot, sadly, we had to say goodbye.
I'm still brokenhearted, and reality is just now setting in that he's not coming home.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always tough to lose a family member like that, our furry friends, and we know how much they mean to all of us. It's interesting. I on the podcast, we have more and more. In fact, when we recorded this morning, we had a golden retriever as part of the team, who from our guests, and we've had Cavalier Spaniels and all kinds of dogs that make appearances on the podcast. And
yeah, well, Yuki's been in every photo bombs, everything, and he's been, and it was Ivan's birthday the other day, and the first photo that Yuki wasn't in was just, I think that's when reality. I had to put him to sleep on my birthday, so it was just it was a horrible last weekend. So anyway,
that is rough, but it is, unfortunately, it's part of life. But but I know we've got a lot to talk about on this show, and there's a lot of things going on, and of course we have our questions from our viewers, from our our listeners and followers and everything. So, but I know there's some new information that you wanted to share.
I just thought that I would touch, with the victims website, the Marcus Lemonis, victimsofmarcuslimonis.com website. I just, the victims that are just coming out of the woodwork are just so, real. And I just thought I would, just kind of touch base. I thought I would just talk about maybe two that in particular, that really are pulling at my heartstrings, because, and I think a lesson in this would be like, know when to walk away from a sale, know when to, when, that saying, when the stars aren't lining up right, and, or, when you start listening to a salesman and things just aren't adding up and things like that, there's, you gotta go with your gut, if there's, some things, aren't adding up or whatever. Just for instance, this lovely family purchased a travel trailer, paid cash for it, had, been saving and everything and looking forward to, family vacations and stuff. And this happened, I guess, in May. And during their walkthrough, they had noticed enormous amounts at Camping World. They noticed enormous amount of defects in the trailer, and they had brought it to the person doing the walkthrough, the technician, whatever, and the salesman, their attention. And some of the things were like, there was actually like a wire under the linoleum, or some kind of bumps under the linoleum, and it was just so many defects. So the salesman, of course, and the managers and everybody is like, oh, just, they're just minor details, don't worry, go on vacation, enjoy the summer, and bring it back to us, after the summer. So within the first 2 days, or even driving away from the dealership, they were popping breakers in their truck while they were plugged in. And anytime that happens, when you're when you pop a fuse when you're plugged into a travel trailer, there is immediate some type of short. So they had called immediately Camping World and advised them of this, popping fuses. And, oh, it's no big deal, don't worry about it, just upgrade the fuse and put a heavier fuse in your truck. Well, that's a big mistake, but they didn't do that. They just replaced it, went through like 8 fuses. get to the campground, when they took the one of their first or second trips, they go to the campground and they're plugged in, and after numerous things from leaks and flooding the trailer and just all sorts of other issues, because unfortunately Camping World doesn't do any PDI on their coaches, so half the time the water heater, the water lines aren't even connected to the back of the water heater.
Yeah.
So they started smelling something, kind of burning. So they unplugged the camper and they just cut their trip short, called Camping World and said that, that there's more problems,
Yeah.
besides the flood and so many other things.
Right.
So they were driving on the highway, on a busy highway, heading towards home, I guess, and look out their rearview mirror and their trailer's on fire. It's on fire on a busy highway. Thank God that everybody is okay, and we managed with good Samaritans and everything, had helped them to get the trailer disconnected while it was on fire from their truck before they all blew up. Unbelievable. And
Wow.
the worst thing, and so it's been almost 2 months. They have no resolution from their insurance company, no resolution from Camping World, and no resolution from the manufacturer, from Jayco. So they're all doing the blame game and blaming each other. In the meantime, these people are out their money, they're traumatized, and nobody cared. I was, anyway, the pictures of it's just beyond, because the first sign, if your fuses are popping in your truck while you're towing and you're plugged in, there's a problem, there's a short. So you need to turn around and go right back to where you got it from and demand them to put a tester on it, because that is a sure sign of a short somewhere.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was one terrible situation that I'm trying to help get resolved with insurance investigators and stuff like that, and get these people, their money back.
Mhm.
Then I had another lady that had written in, and this story was just beyond words. So she had bought a used motorhome, her life savings, $100,000. She paid cash for it. It was in Texas. She lives in LA, and she flew in to Texas to pick it up. And it was making when she went into the RV, it was making a beeping sound. She heard the beeping sound, and the salesman said, "Oh, that's nothing. The battery's low. But once you get going, it'll recharge the battery." So she drove it back to LA, and when she arrived at the campground or wherever she was staying, she lost consciousness, and people, the paramedics and whatever they had hospitalized her for carbon monoxide poisoning. So anyway, this happened 2 or 3 times. So then she went back to the RV because she was assured that there was no leak in the, that the carbon monoxide detector was just faulty. Well, she almost passed out the 3rd time. What could have killed her. Long story short, through investigating, we determined that this coach was brought back by somebody else, brought back to Camping World, and with a known faulty generator problem that was putting exhaust fumes back into the cabin of the RV, and it was returned, and we found previous work orders, and the salesman and the service manager reporting this to the general manager of Camping World. "Hey, what do we do about this generator problem?" "Oh, don't worry, put it back for sale and throw the paperwork away." So they knew that this thing had a pre-existing problem and could have killed this lady. So this poor lady is out $100,000, and she's living in a tent because she has no more money right now, and she's living in a tent. So,
Wow, man, I'll tell you,
alive, but it's like, come on, so the fact
it
that
just gets worse and worse.
the fact that they knew that this thing had an exhaust problem, and they just put it back for sale and sold it to a 75-year-old lady and let her drive from Texas to LA.
The great cover up. It just Yeah, it just seems endless with these kinds of stories. It's
Have
unbelievable.
to be stopped. They have to be stopped. They
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
keep doing this. They have 60% of the market share, and that's what worries me so much of all these new, unsuspected, brand new RVers out there that want, an alternative of way of vacationing or family time, and they're going to destroy them.
yeah.
So
Wow, boy,
anyway, so
what
that's that.
those are two horror stories for sure.
I have
What?
more, but that's enough for this week.
Uh, yeah, yeah. Well, wait till the book comes out.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You're watching Just Ask Gigi. She's Gigi Stetler. I'm Tom Alexander. I'll take a quick break and then back with your questions right after these words. The RVACA is a charitable organization protecting the rights of RV owners. With your help, we'll work with dealers and manufacturers to ensure quality controls in place prior to delivery of an RV. Additionally, the RVACA provides assistance to disaster relief victims. Visit rvaca.org. We are back on Just Ask Gigi, along with Gigi Stetler. I'm Tom Alexander, and Gigi, of course, as always, on Just Ask Gigi, it's time for questions. Here we go. We've got two questions this week, and one is from Charlie. And this is interesting because I don't think we've ever been asked this before. But it's a simple. Actually, it's surprisingly simple. In cleaning the exterior of your vehicle, of your RV, fifth wheel, whatever kind of RV you have, what is the best solutions to use? What are some of the best cleaning supplies and stuff to use for this? Never thought of that, but yeah.
Well, we actually use a car wash that we get from Napa, and it comes in concentrated, and we use equal parts. But don't use anything abrasive like bleach. There is some products on the market for black streak remover on aluminum skin trailers. Some of those products work, but the old-fashioned car wash, it's pink and it's just called car wash, and it works great.
And it's from Napa, you said.
Yep, we get it from Napa. And do not use a pressure washer. They will actually, because this aluminum's powder coated, and it'll blow the paint right off of it. So don't use a power washer or a pressure washer.
Okay, interesting to know. So just a good old fashioned hose and
Yep. And a bucket and a brush.
A bucket and a brush, a little elbow grease, and
make sure it's sealed and you've got your caulking done, before you start hosing it down and letting water pour in.
Yeah. So car wash from Napa, and it's pink. That's all we need to know. All right, fair enough. Good enough. Okay, so very good. So I hope that helps Charlie out. And Alice writes, appliances. This is interesting. Any specific line of appliance? We go from outside to inside now. Of appliances that you use or you would recommend for your RV.
Are we talking? I'm assuming.
I think she means refrigerators, microwaves, those kinds of things.
Well, that stuff's built in. Maybe she's thinking about extra.
You just said appliances. I'm sorry.
I think maybe she's talking about like extra appliances, like what would you bring with you? Because most of them are standard with microwave and oven and
right.
all of that kind of
what
stuff.
About dishwashers? That's also
they don't always come with dishwashers. You can get some fifth wheels or have, and motorhomes have dishwashers. Never a travel trailer, but as far as like bringing extra appliances, my two favorite ones. Don't go anywhere without a magic bullet. I love my magic bullet, and it really, they're small and get a lot of chopping done. And a toaster oven. A toaster oven actually does a lot of things. It cuts down on a lot of different gadgets. You won't need to bring an extra toaster, but it does broil. It kind of works as a convection oven. It does quite a few different things. So those are my two favorite camping gadgets. along
Yeah.
with my outside grill.
I'm reminded of a story from when I was a kid and when our stove just decided to just stop working in our house. And my mom she had a little toaster oven, and you would be surprised how many meals we got. She was able to just sort of fashion out of just a toaster oven, like,
Oh, those-
boiling things. Yeah.
I'm not a good crock potter. I'm not. So many people, a lot of RVers, they love, the Instapot or whatever you
Yeah.
call it.
Right.
If and they do, and the air fryer also. Actually, there's a new air fryer that's out that does air frying and the convection and the toaster of it, all of that in
Wow.
one gadget. But the crock pot, I mean, if you like to just throw something in the pot and, come back a few hours later, those are great,
Yep. Yeah.
I'm more
Absolutely.
the
Just
hands-on.
used one yesterday, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but they do come in handy from time to time. But well, hope that helps Alice and everyone else out there who might be interested in some bring-alongs, to take on the road with you to make, I guess, cooking a little simpler and more convenient. So that's a good thing. Of course, as always, if you have any questions for Gigi on Just Ask Gigi, just write info@thervadvisor.com, info@thervadvisor.com, and just let us know that you'd like your question answered on Just Ask Gigi, and we'll do our very best to do so. Also, want to let folks know and remind them that the rvaca.org is there for you. As you know, the manufacturers and the dealers have a seat in Washington. They have their organizations. Well, the rvaca.org is built for you, the consumer, the RV owner, the RV enthusiast. So working hard to get a seat at that table in the district. And we'll see.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the meantime, there's an awful lot we can do, and remind you to register your vehicle with the RVACA. And of course, as always, as we've mentioned now for the past several months, if you have an RV that you're able to lend temporarily to those folks fighting COVID on the front lines, the medical personnel, so they can isolate, let us know and go to rvaca.org. And also, if you don't and you want to make a monetary contribution, by all means, we would most certainly, and they would too, appreciate that.
Yes.
So I think we've covered it all, and we, of course, next time I'm sure we'll have some more information on these always developing.
Yes. Hopefully we can go in the field next week. I really itching to go out and
Yeah. Tell us a story from the field. That would be great. We'll get our
do that next week.
cameraman out there, Mr. A.B. Batista, and see what the heck's going on out in the field. And everybody's feeling good. Everybody's doing okay over there at headquarters.
Yep, we're going. Yeah, we're busy. We're busy. Busy in all different directions. So
Good.
busy is good.
Busy is always the best.
Yes.
No doubt about it. Even when it seems like you just can't even keep up with it all, it's often a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So
no complaints.
Absolutely. Well, we do appreciate you watching another edition of Just Ask Gigi. For Gigi Stetler, I'm Tom Alexander. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.
Bye.
So long, everybody.